Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Sparkle Ladies.
Our music's not playing.
Yeah.
You sparkle. You
You
sparkle.
sparkle. You.
Shine so bright. You sparkle.
So do we have to stop recording and start again?
No, we're perfect. We're all good. We're
Wait,
on.
wait.
We are on.
It's one take, ladies and gentlemen. One take.
Oh.
One take. This is a
And
one
this is how
shot.
it goes in Sparkle Land. One take.
Yeah.
We're shining in every moment. So
Yes.
however it manifests, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's so funny. You girls are so funny.
Yeah, like you gotta, and this is perfect for the topic today. Loving the stink, loving what you wouldn't necessarily consider lovable, but it's all of one. It's all of, we are all of one energy. We're at different frequencies and vibrations and consciousnesses of that one energy. And this is about the joy and delight
And
in
loving the stink.
loving the things that might not be considered might be, I don't want to even say unlovable, but
Yeah.
not might not be the first thing you think of when you think of a stink or a bug or a trash can. It's like, I love you.
Yeah, I was
But
about to
there's
have a
magic
steak,
waiting.
but then I was like, whoa, there's loving Jeannie saying it's perfect. It's perfect how it just happened. Just roll with it, right?
Where did that come from, Jeannie? When you just suddenly started singing to your trash can, like you didn't
It was
practice or
being in
try
that
for that.
vibration of joy. I was walking with my dogs. They all have these little fuzzy butts in front of me. And that's my joy. They're my heart, my joy, I just love them. And so I was singing just to them, or I don't even know if I was singing to them as we were walking, but I was in my joy, dog walking, looking at them. Beautiful day here in Arizona. And then the stinky poo. And you're always happy when your dog poos. And
Are you?
well,
Okay.
a lot of the time, because you want
Yeah.
to, that's the
Yeah.
Yes,
point of the
yes,
walk,
yes.
is to have a movement. So you're like, all
Yeah.
right, check
Healthy.
off the
Yes.
checklist, right?
I think that we
And
feel that
but
way
it was
about
pretty
ourselves too.
stinky. Yeah, it was pretty stinky, and it's like, oh my gosh, as we walk across the park, just a few yards away, I see this trash can, and it just, because I was already in that frequency of joy and doing what I love to do and starting my day like that, the song just came up through me, and I was like, hello trash can, you perfectly placed piece of love, and just singing to it. And then it was,
And
I
then the
dropped
magical
the trash
universe
in there.
expanded.
The universe expanded. I dropped the trash in there, and I was so grateful for its placement, not too far from the stinky poo placement. And then literally the entire park lit up in a whole, like a magical vibration. And it goes back to, I took Reiki. I became a Reiki master from this one lady, Marie Manucheri in Seattle, who's a beautiful, beautiful, enlightened being. And she teaches Reiki. And she had said at one point, she said, so we're all made of the one energy. And like I said, different levels of consciousness and frequencies. So there's all this love behind everything. But there's certain things that get a lot of love, like trees and birds and puppy dogs and humans and all of this. But there's a lot of creation that is really beneficial that doesn't get a lot of love, like stop signs and pavement and trash cans and bugs and all these things
Right?
that maybe aren't on the, oh, you're so lovable scale.
Yeah, or vultures.
Or vultures. And she says, so all of this love is sitting there but no one's been like, oh my God, I love you. Thank you for being here. And all those particles are just waiting to come at you with their love, going, oh my God, you saw me, you saw me. And that's what that trash can, when I was singing to it and so grateful for it, that's what felt like. And that's what lit up my whole experience, was all those particles coming at me going, you see me, you're
Whoa.
grateful for me. And I was like, wow. And then now it's expanded several years later into one of the coolest trash cans from
Right.
Japan that I've ever
But-
seen.
So that whole Disney experience was trash can fueled.
Yes,
right?
and it was all of creation going, oh my gosh, you're seeing a different aspect of creation. You're seeing it in the
Yeah.
love it all is. Can
I
you expand your consciousness to be that field that sees it all as love and delight with all aspects of creation, right? And that's what, and then it's just like, whoa, what? I'm in a totally new frequency because this trash can has released its love upon me.
That reminds
Didn't
me
it-
of these stink bugs. I was gonna
But wait,
say.
before you start, Jevona, the stink bug, I want to hear about the can dance.
Oh, so yeah, so I've had all these experiences with trash cans because now I love trash cans and I just appreciate them so much for their ability to hold our stuff that we no longer want or use, And so I was in our neighborhood, we have these big black dumpsters in the alleyways. And again, as I'm walking the dogs in my joy, I walked by and I said, look at you all lined up looking so pretty as you're in your dumpsters. And all of a sudden the alleyway lights up again and I see them all and they're like, we're not dumpsters, we're the can. just, I was like, oh my gosh, this is having a bigger experience with all of creation.
Mhm.
With all of creation. And it's just so, it delights me to no end that it's with trash cans. And then with one of the groups that Jevona and I are part of, one of the gals is a photographer. And she's so funny because every few months she sends me a photo of a trash can from one of her hikes or one of her places. And she goes, I was just thinking of you, Jeannie.
Trash can. Love it.
All these photos of me with friends next to dumpsters and trash cans. And I have people sending me trash cans thinking of you, Jeannie.
That's amazing.
Isn't that fun? It's just playful and fun. It's with something that you would never have thought to have to play with and have fun. And this is available to every part of creation.
Mm-hmm.
Every part of creation.
Everything wants to play with you.
Yeah.
Everything. All day long, wanting to play,
Yeah.
wanting sparkles just like you.
Wanting to be in that communication, right? That communication with all of life, all aspects of the one.
Mm-hmm.
Such an important part.
Yeah, and it's just so fun to revel in all of life. And really, I mean, it was a big experience. Both, I mean, all of these, when I'm meeting these aspects of creation with my joy and in that recognition of their perfect placement, their perfect divine creation, things get big, magnificence. Yeah.
You're
So
inspiring.
I want to hear about, Jevona's incident with the stink bug.
The stink bugs. Well, it's been a couple years now with the stink bugs, and it started like in the summer one time at this different place, and it would just be like these stink bugs would just show up everywhere, like just in different areas. And I would talk to them, like, because they would just, and then all of a sudden one would be thinking it would die or something. And then I would talk to it like, but I would leave it. I wouldn't like throw it out or anything yet. And then all of a sudden someone would be like, wait, I thought you said this one's dead. It's now walking. I'm like, oh. And so it was always like I was tuning into it. And then all of a sudden, winter comes and you think they're all dead. And all of a sudden I'm like, I'll find one in like a sweatshirt that I'm like in my drawer. I'm like, how did you get there? Or one, I'll be like, all of a sudden it was like my routine in the morning would be like to go drink a glass of water and then go make a tea. Well, all of a sudden there would be like one on the water, then there would be another one on the teapot, and then I would take things like a Kleenex and I would put the bug on a Kleenex and then bring it outside. So I was like, oh, there you go, set free. And then there was one one on a Kleenex. I'm like, oh, you want to go outside? Okay. And it was just like in my mind, I'm like, wait, what? You're coming there, you're coming there. And all of a sudden it was like all these random places. Even when I was doing like when I was having one of these conversations and I was sitting on my bed and I had a dress on the right hand side, and all of a sudden there was one right there, like looking out, like being there in the consciousness of how I was being in consciousness with
in the conversation, right?
Yes. And now I moved to this new place, and so that was at the other place, and now I thought, okay, this is different now. And I hadn't really seen many of them, and then all of a sudden the other day, all of a sudden I was moving something in my room, and there one flew out. And I was like, oh, where did you come from? Like, hadn't seen one in a while. So I picked it up and I put it in the windowsill in my bathroom. And I just thought, okay, I'll just leave you there. Well, the next day I found it by the garbage. So by the Kleenex store that I was telling you about. So I was like, okay, I'll just leave you there. It's cushiony, it's warm. I'll just leave you there. And then the next day I saw it back on the windowsill, but it was like by where the window is. And I thought maybe it was dead. So I was like, okay, but I still talked to it, and I touched it and I talked to it, and I'm like, okay, you want to sit there for a bit? Sure, you go sit there for a bit. It was literally there for 2 days. And then yesterday I was in the kitchen and we're cooking dinner, and all of a sudden I seen this one crawling on the roof, and I'm like, what? Is this another one? There must be a second one, right? And he's just crawling in the area. I go back to the bathroom and that one is gone. So I'm like, you sat there for 2 days. I was thinking you're dead, just like that one in the kitchen before. Like, you think they're dead, and then you talk to it, and then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, it's like where I am. It's always like, and then there was my channeling partner I had, like, and I would tell her these stories about this stink bug, and then all of a sudden, she never had any like interaction with stink bugs. But then all of a sudden, she went on a trip with her son and son's girlfriend, and they went to a hotel. And she sent me a picture because there was a stink bug in the window. And she's like, oh my God, Jevona, you're here with me in this hotel room. I don't see him anywhere else, but here's this stink bug. Like,
oh my gosh.
So it's
I
just
love that.
I love it.
Like,
Well, I
like
will
just
start.
even the tiniest thing that you can just have consciousness with and connection with and love with, right?
Yeah. And how much love did your friend have? Because she's like, oh my gosh, this is so like the joy that she had. And she's like, I'm so in joy and delight because I'm going to send this to Jevona.
Yeah.
And that's how my friend is with the trash cans. It's like, oh my gosh, there's a trash can, and she gets that delight and joy and then sends it to me. And we're just expanding this love.
That is
delight.
so awesome. It's like the trash can tour of the world, the stink bug tour of the world.
Yes.
Like,
everybody who listens to this will be thinking differently about stink bugs and trash cans.
Right. I've always really appreciated outhouses, especially clean ones, and especially they're there when you need them, but I'm going to cultivate more of an energy around them,
Yeah. And stop signs and pavement, like you're saying.
Yeah, like not just
the birds and the flowers and all the
or your
beautiful
walls,
things.
Everything.
Your wall, your floor,
the
structure.
I mean, absolutely, I talk to my water
everything.
when I drink it. Always, like I talk to my water when I drink it. Like,
Yeah, but like expanding it out to everything and everyone and just loving it.
You think that there's no power in it, but there's so much power in loving more, like consciousness and being in the same breath as what you're focusing on,
It expands that gratitude, that love, that joy and delight within you.
Yes.
Yeah. So perfect. So beautiful. And
it's like if we could just even We can't see the unseen, but there's so much there. There's so much around us. Like
Yeah.
so much love.
Almost all of it is unseen.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, almost all. I mean, 99.9% of it is unseen. But I tell you, through that love, through that gratitude,
Yes.
through that meeting,
Believing and trusting.
the believing, I saw more of it when I put that in the trash can. More of creation expanded. I expanded into seeing more of it, and it was really magical. And it was a different frequency.
It's like having everything as like cartoon almost. Like even your everything in your around you is just like everything I feel like a movie, like, you know, waking up and everything around you is like you're creating your movie if you want to have happy garbage cans and you know what I mean?
Well, and
Happy
that's why
bugs,
it felt like
happiness.
it felt like Walt Disney
Yes.
came
Yep.
in. In fact,
I'm so excited
because he had that relationship with all of life. He had mice dancing around and speaking, and he had, I don't know, I'm sure he probably had trash cans dancing and doing the cha-cha or something like that. I mean, if you look at all of the cartoons and the amusement parks and all of this, he was engaged with an expansive view of life and creation.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really beautiful. And I mean, can you imagine walking around?
It's all the sparkles in between everything, the particles of sparkles. We're the sparkles, but there's the sparkles of everything in the unseen.
Yeah, like what are you lighting up in your world? Yeah.
I think we should talk about this next time. Look, the sparkles in between everything.
Ooh, I love that.
So fun to hang with you guys.
I love it. You're all so sparkly, love.
You shine so bright. You sparkle. You are the love. You shine so bright. You sparkle, 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 sparkle.
Oh, how did you do that?